We are not the pinnacle of evolution, and never have we been. Neither are we the most up-to-date or final word on consciousness. 3.5 billion years ago, our shared ancestor haphazardly drifted above the ocean floor, as did the ancestor of the aardvark, the gum tree, and the bony-eared arsefish. And in each case, this was the same individual, an organism now referred to as Luca, the last universal common ancestor. But this wasn't the Earth's first attempt at life. Indeed, Luca was only one of many organisms that competed for its survival in the ancient oceans of the Paleoarchean. But today, a mere 3.5 billion years later, Luca's descendants remain the sole survivors of that once competitive bygone era. A survival story represented without exception by every single living thing on Earth today. From every moss to every mosquito to every messiah, the branches of evolution share an intimate and unbreakable equality. So that from its root to its tip, till the very last earthling stands, there shall never be a front runner for the world's most evolved, as we are each unique expressions of that same single entity. An organism endlessly reshaped by an unfathomable slew of environmental challenges and one critical ability to reinvent itself. All characteristics of life, no matter how incorporeal, have been arrived at through this ancient game of trial and error. A game with a single rule that states, if you are still in the race, then you are tied for first place. Even death itself is an evolutionary answer to the problem of survival. In fact, some creatures still trial the potential benefits of immortality. Turritopsis dornii, a jellyfish discovered in the Mediterranean in the 1880s, has been shown to have the remarkable ability to endlessly revert from its sexually mature medusa stage back to its juvenile polyp stage when facing harsh conditions. The upshot of this transdifferentiation is that, save from death by predator or disease, the jellyfish is biologically immortal. So, as far as we can tell, there is no reason why we should have to die at all, except for the simple fact that it gives our species an evolutionary edge. As flowers shed their petals to ensure the survival of the flower, so too do our old or unhealthy cells suicide by way of apoptosis, maintaining a healthy biome. The word apoptosis literally meaning falling of the flower petals. And by dying ourselves, we ensure that the species doesn't overcapitalize on its limited resources, whilst advancing the genetic variety needed to deal with the many biological and environmental challenges that a species may face. Death is simply an inherited trait. And by this measure, so it appears, is consciousness. The evolutionists' take is that consciousness is merely a survival mechanism which turned out to be more successful than baseline chemical reactions alone. If an organism evolved the ability to move towards a food source or away from a predator with something that we would recognize as purpose, then it therefore had developed a basal notion of self, the fundamentals of what might one day build towards consciousness. So how might we begin to describe what it is that has arisen from this evolutionary process? If you enjoyed that and you would like to see the entire episode, it's live right at the moment, or you can head over to our homepage and have a look at the rest of the story that has unfolded across the last year. Otherwise, much love, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. See ya.